Good morning. Thank you for joining our webinar. My name is David Campbell. I'm Vice President of Product Marketing, and this morning I'm going to be walking you through the new Sugar messaging and the new Sugar release, the 9.1 release. We're calling this presentation 3 Pillars and 3 New Products. It's actually quite a bit more than that, but we're going to unpack it for you. So let's start with the 3 pillars, which is really around the new messaging and new differentiation that we launched recently. You're probably aware of it. It really comes back to a whole new vision for the company. We're seeing this market evolve from something that was more CRM focused on relationships and enabling management to understand where customers were in their buying cycle mainly, and then as well as support and marketing. But now the market is evolving to more of a customer experience, and so we needed a vision that kind of fit more with this expanded notion of not only where the market was going, but what we were becoming as a company. And so our new vision is to create a world where companies cultivate customers for life by anticipating and fulfilling needs before customers realize they have them. We're in the business of trying to help our customers create loyal customers of their own. And the best way we can do that as a customer experience platform vendor is to really try to make sense of data and interpret it so that our customers can see problems before they happen, so they can anticipate needs before they've been articulated, and so they can essentially connect the dots where it concerns all the data involving their customers, so that they can anticipate needs and fulfill them before customers even have realized that they've asked for them. So the way in which we're differentiating our company now is through something we call the 3 pillars. Pillars not only represent, the way we go to market in terms of differentiation, they also represent our North Star in terms of guiding our development efforts and where we're going to place our investments as a software organization. So I'm going to walk you through those really quick. If you were on some of the previous webinars, you may have seen a detailed presentation on these, but I think it's good to review to kind of put the other things I'm going to say in context. So the first one is this notion of an intelligent customer experience platform. This is capabilities that we've built into the product. That first, we're going out and we're taking data from a wide variety of internal sources, whether that's ERP and accounting systems, or marketing automation data, or emails, or telephony information, and we're aggregating that together. And then we take that data and we unify it so that it's all in a uniform format that we can then do interesting things with from a computing point of view. We are also time stamping that data so that we can then provide a different dimension on looking at that data from a business intelligence point of view, and namely understanding how data changes over time so you can make projections about how customers will behave in the future. And then once we have this data, it's unified, it's time-stamped, we then augment that data with information from other sources that are maybe external to your company. Things like social media, or tools that they use to communicate, or third-party information services that we've integrated with in order to augment the data that you have about your customers. Then we take that augmented data set and we run AI and machine learning technologies over it to analyze the data. And the idea here is to uncover new facts about customers, to understand new correlations and trends. And the outcome of that is to provide predictive insights, to predict what customers are going to do so you can make bankable projections into the future, and to provide next best action guidance to salespeople, to marketers, and to customer service people. And we want to be able to take all this enhanced information and make it available through a single view with the added time dimension. And that's going to enable some new products that we have on the slate for later in the year that you'll be hearing about. The second pillar is no-touch information management. And the idea behind this is we try to take every opportunity that we can to take the drudge work out of dealing with CRM. So we're on a mission that we've been on a mission for a while, actually, to remove all the manual tasks involved with collecting data so that CRM is less a matter of constantly having people feed the system and more a matter of the system automatically figuring out what data it needs, augmenting that data, and then providing it when you need it. So we're capturing content automatically just as a standard byproduct of users doing their job, whether they're engaging with customers or using their email or social media or chat. We try to capture data automatically in the background. And then we try to process that data without being asked to in order to understand large data sets so that users aren't having to do that themselves. And then we present that information automatically at the right time and in context with what they're doing in their work. So typically, we're trying to integrate with additional tools and applications so that CRM then becomes embedded into the tools that you use every day in your job. And the third pillar is around continuous cloud innovation. So what we've done is we've gone out and selected the most innovative cloud technology providers, and we're leveraging all the technologies available. In today's world, building out a proprietary cloud infrastructure, like a lot of customer experience vendors do, it's expensive, it's limiting, and it's unnecessarily risky. And so what we've done is we've gone out and selected best-of-breed technology that gives us the most flexible, responsible, and cost-effective way to provide our applications to our customers. Now, the vendor we've chosen averages about a 40% increase in new functionality every year, and they simultaneously decreased their prices of their services 60 times since they launched. So that means that we're able to provide you with the latest infrastructure technology at prices that are driven by enormous economies of scale. We've also selected a vendor that will give us the ability to grow and expand globally with you. So we have a service that already supports customers in over 190 customers or countries. And for application vendors like us that leverage all of the capabilities, we're able to deploy quickly into new regions in order to support you as you grow and expand globally. It also enables us to focus more of our development investments on actually enhancing our product as opposed to maintaining or upgrading our infrastructure. So more of the money that you pay us in terms of subscription fees is actually showing up as improvements in the product. And then finally, market class scalability, extensibility, availability, and security. Without those basics covered, all the innovation in the world wouldn't mean much. And so we really wanted to ally with infrastructure that was going to be available and reliable to you. So let's look at how this affects the product portfolio, what the set of offerings are, and most importantly, what that means to you. So in terms for new customers, and I'm going to talk about existing customers here, so be patient for that. But in terms of new customers, we have a new set of cloud offerings, Market, Sell, and Serve, and then a 5-seat edition, which is an entry-level product that's sold through resellers. But Market, Sell, and Serve are basically they're specialized offerings focusing on particular user groups within companies, and it's very obvious who they're focused on. These are Sell and Serve are based on Pro and Enterprise in the sense that they share a lot of common technology with them. In the case of Serve, we've built out a lot of things. And in the case of sell, it's very, very near to what you know of as enterprise today. Market is a rebranding of the Salesfusion technology. For our on-premise offerings, we're still offering Pro and Enterprise. So those products continue. And for new customers, though, they're going to be focused exclusively on on-premise deployment. I'm going to talk about existing customers and how that's going to work too. And then, of course, the set of add-ons that you already know about, things like Hint, CollabSpot, Octopost plugin for Sugar Market. All of those things continue to exist just as they are today. So why did we make these set of changes? Well, the first reason is because for our cloud customers, we really wanted to provide specialized offerings that fit better with their usage scenarios. We find we have statistics on our customer base that a majority of our customers use our products for either just Salesforce automation or support in particular. They're not necessarily, they're overpaying essentially for the optionality of getting capabilities that they're not actually using. So we're actually providing more specialized offerings, which gives us the ability to innovate in the future roadmap from a roadmap perspective and provide even more capabilities for those user sets. It also enables us to make our on-premise products provide more flexibility in terms of customization and control over software upgrades. So the reason that most of our customers have on-premise products is because they require the ability to do extensive customization or the ability to control software upgrades and how often they're applied to their technology stack. By separating out our products like that, it allows us to make future enhancements to Pro and Enterprise to increase the customizability and control over software upgrades, and not have to maintain a compatibility with cloud offerings necessarily, or not have to extend those capabilities of cloud offerings. And so that, in turn, allows us to make our cloud products take advantage of cutting-edge cloud technologies that are only available in the cloud, and it would be very difficult to extend to on-premise offerings. So by breaking apart the on-premise and cloud offerings, we can make each one of those offerings better, given the use cases that their customers are using them for. So what does that mean to you on your current product? So first thing, the first rule of this really is that there are no changes for you if you don't want them to be. You can stay on your current product. If you're on Pro or Enterprise today, you are not going to be migrated to other products. You don't have to migrate to the cloud if you're on premise. Pro and Enterprise are going to continue as first-class Sugar products. And by first class, what I mean is that they'll continue to be supported. They'll get regular product updates that will continue on exactly the same cadence that they had before. And you will be able to add additional users to your implementation. If you do want to migrate to Sell or Serve, you can. And in general, what we're going to do is simply convert your enterprise licenses, for example, to Sell or Serve licenses at the same price that you're paying today. If you're on Pro, Pro is an entry-level offering, so there is a fee involved in that, but that'd be the equivalent of the fee it would have cost you to upgrade to Enterprise, and you would be able for that fee to upgrade to Sell or Serve instead. Your Sugar or partner sales rep can help you decide if that makes sense for you. There are certain conditions under which it might make more sense for you to stay on Pro or Enterprise, particularly if you have if you're on premise and you have a highly customized instance. It might be better in your best interest to stay on your current product. But there might be future things that we're going to do on Sell or Serve that might make sense for you. So your sales rep, either partner or Sugar sales rep, can help you make that decision. All right, so we've talked a bit about the portfolio as a whole. We've talked about the existing products and how they're remaining and that you can stay on them. I want to talk to you a little bit about the new products and what they're about. So Sell and Market, we've had the predecessors of those out on the market for a long time. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about them. I'll just give the high level, but I do want to go into a lot of detail about Serve. So let's start with Sugar Market. So Sugar Market is really a rebranding of the Salesfusion product that we acquired a few months ago. We're just bringing them into the Sugar brand. We're bringing them under a common naming umbrella, but the set of things that Sugar Market does remain the same. So Sugar Market's all about campaign creation and making that as easy and facile as possible. It's about understanding the engagement that you're having with customers and what kinds of marketing campaigns are working and which ones aren't. It's about improving conversion rates throughout the pipeline, and it's about, of course, driving more revenue. In terms of benefits for Sugar Market, it really comes down to optimizing the pipeline. If you can improve the conversion rates at each stage in the pipeline, and even just reaching incremental improvements in conversion rates, you can achieve really, really impactful results in terms of revenue. So marketers who implement marketing automation generally increase their sales pipeline contribution by 10%. And they see an average of 20% increase in sales opportunity from nurtured leads versus non-nurtured leads. So that's one of the key capabilities of Sugar Market, is the ability to do very, very nice lead nurturing. For Sugar Sell is most like Sugar Enterprise. It has all of the Salesforce automation capabilities of Sugar Enterprise, but it removes some of the more support-oriented kind of features like case management. So inside Sell, you have data validation and augmentation. You have the things that you would expect, like contact, lead, and account management. You have Sugar BPM for doing process automation. You can manage activities, manage pipeline, do forecasting, customer journey mapping. All of the things that you expect to be in a Salesforce automation platform are what we've provided in Sugar Sell. And it looks very, very much like Sugar Enterprise. So there shouldn't be a whole lot of surprise there. And in terms of benefits, it's all the things you'd expect from Salesforce automation. You implement Sugar Sell because you're trying to improve your sales efficiency. You're trying to improve customer experience, increase revenue, get more volume and throughput on your opportunity pipeline, and to improve the oversight to improve oversight capabilities for sales management. So let's do a deep dive on Sugar Serve, because that's where most of the new functionality that you haven't seen before resides. So we're going to go top down and talk about why we split out Serve into its own product. And it's this reason right here that it comes down to. People tend to think of customer service primarily in terms of cost savings, or even worse, they might even think of it just as an expense line on the balance sheet. But really good customer service has enormous top-line revenue impact. Customers or companies that are involved in transaction-oriented businesses, where you're just doing one-time sale of products and services, if they do customer service really, really well, they can realize 140% higher spend on a per customer basis after just a year. In the subscription-oriented businesses where customers are paying companies annual or monthly fees for continued access to services, really good customer service can increase the probability of renewal by 74%, which is really, really excellent, because in a subscription-oriented business, renewals are where it's at. That's how you build out an annuity stream. So how does customer service do that? Well, first, really good customer service leads to higher retention rates. It leads also, survey after survey have shown that customers who receive really good service have a higher willingness to pay a premium for that service. It also makes it easier to upsell and cross-sell additional products and services. And it reduces, of course, the cost of business. And it improves brand equity. Really good customer service builds really good brands. And it also results in tremendous word of mouth opportunity. So, and in this internet age, word of mouth is a bigger thing than it ever was because mouths now have the internet as essentially a megaphone to amplify the effect of a message. So why doesn't everybody do this? There are some common barriers to being really good at customer service. The first one is just around agent efficiency. Agents need access to customer data, otherwise they can't do their job very well. And they need very good situational awareness about what else is going on with a customer. They need to understand what opportunities for cross-sell and upsell a customer may have engaged with. They need to understand the different kinds of marketing campaigns that customer may have been exposed to. Without that, they can't really service a customer very well. Also, agents need to understand what SLA terms a customer has in order to understand how to prioritize cases that may have come from that customer. If an agent can't understand what an SLA is, then that can lead to poor follow-up on cases, and that would lead to decreased customer satisfaction. And finally, customer service agents really need good access to centralized knowledge. They need to know how cases were resolved in the past, and then they need to be able to put that knowledge base out in front of customers themselves so that customers can self-service resolutions to their issues. Because if they can do that, then they can avoid cases altogether and have cost avoidance as a benefit. So the key objectives then for SugarServe are really around improving efficiency, reducing the cost of service, and making service very easy, and to build trusting relationships by providing an exceptional service experience across all channels. So these are the core capabilities of the system, but I think it's probably more interesting to kind of walk into sort of some usage scenarios and show you how the product works. So we're going to do that using essentially three personas here. We're going to look at what the product is like from the standpoint of Melissa Evans, a customer service agent, whose job it is to review and actually resolve cases reported by her customers. We're going to look at it from the standpoint of Andrew Fisher, who's an actual customer, and the sort of experience that he'll have. And we're going to look at it from the standpoint of Adam Donald, who actually administrates SugarServe. So Melissa is a customer service agent. Her job is to log into the service console, review open cases, collaborate on those cases with her team, and interact with customers in order to drive cases to resolution. So her initial dashboard looks something like this. It kind of takes it has kind of a bottoms-up kind of approach. So at the top of the dashboard are the set of items that need action today. And then in the middle, there are the set of open items, the sort of backlog of open cases that she's working on. And then at the very bottom is the set of operational reports and metrics and current performance indicators that are driving either her work or her team's work. Now, of course, this is what comes out of the box, but it's very configurable. So if Melissa needs a different view on things, she can totally go in there and change the set of panels available on her dashboard. This is Melissa's, what we're calling the service console. And this is really a new user interface paradigm. We've never used it in Sugar before. It's brand new. It's really what I would call an intelligent list view. It looks a lot like a list view that you might have seen in our product before, but there's a lot of intelligence built into this. First thing to notice is that all of the cases that are listed here are organized by SLA instead of by case priority or severity. And the reason why is because SLA represents the solemn pact that a company has with its customers. It's basically saying we promise to resolve cases according to these constraints. And SLA priority is not really a simple field. It's actually dynamic. It depends on the customer you're dealing with, where they're located, the location of the service center out of which you're processing cases, the case status, how long it's been open, workflow, and service policy. So the priority in which you work on things through SLA is a complicated calculation. So what we're trying to do is provide Melissa here with something that's already pre-prioritized for her according to those SLAs, so she can literally work from top to bottom through the list and have the best chance of meeting all of her SLA obligations. So when she clicks on an individual case, she gets the case view, and the case view is really great because it provides everything needed to work on that case in a single screen. So one of the problems with many customer service tools out there is that they kind of induce tab fatigue, where you're having to go to different tabs on the screen and searching for information and in order to maneuver your way through the application. And what we've done is taken a very user-centric approach where we've said, okay, to resolve a case, what's all the information needed by the agent? And so on this view, we're showing the case details. We're showing the account details so that Melissa knows everything about the company that the customer works for. We're showing a team collaboration panel. So Melissa can actually go and tag members of her team in team collaboration to ask them to help on this, and that becomes part of the case record that's always presented with the case. And then there's an interaction history where Melissa has access to all the interactions that have occurred with this customer, so that she's not the right hand working without knowledge of what the left hand is doing. This is all designed to be very, very easy, intuitive, and ergonomic in the sense that all the information that she needs is at her fingertips. From the cases interaction panel, Melissa can initiate interactions with the customer. So she can compose an email, she can log a telephone call, she can schedule a meeting with the customer, or she can create a note or attachment to go along with the case history. In resolving the case, we make our knowledge base available as a key resource that Melissa has access to, so she can look and see whether this particular case has been resolved in the past, and then use that so she can turn around the case resolution really quickly. But if the knowledge base doesn't have the answer that she's looking for and she has to resolve it herself, she can initiate publication of that resolution into the knowledge base so that she and other agents can benefit from that work in the future. Now, this is a view, we call it the Kanban view for support supervisors. You first saw this in the opportunities module in Enterprise a couple months ago, but what we've done is we've taken this concept and applied it to customer service. So Kanban is really, it's a Japanese concept that was invented actually in the lean manufacturing and just-in-time manufacturing world. But essentially what it does is it organizes items into bins and with the intention of avoiding excess buildup of items in each bin. So here in this example that you're seeing, our bins are organized by case status. So we can see all the cases that are in the new state, in the assigned state, in closed state, and so on. We can also organize these bins by users. So what's really neat about this view is not only does it give us a visual representation of where cases could be building up in the process or on user queues, it also it supports an intelligent drag and drop capability where if we move cases between bins, the product automatically updates the relevant data fields and fires off the relevant business logic. So, for example, let's say that we were looking at user bins and we noticed that one of our agents had a large backlog of open cases. Well, we can redistribute that workload very, very quickly by just selecting a number of cases, moving them to other bins of other users, and the product would automatically update the assignment fields, but it would also fire off the necessary notifications to tell other agents that they have new cases that have been assigned to them, and it would automatically prioritize those cases by SLA, as we saw in one of the previous screens, for those new agents. So let's switch over to our end customer, Andrew, his view of the world. So Andrew's our customer. Cell will provide a self-service portal that Andrew can go to for customer service. He can search for published content in the knowledge base, and that gives him the ability to resolve problems by himself. And that's really great for the company because every problem that Andrew resolves for himself is one that doesn't come through the customer service contact center. On average, contact centers spend anywhere between $15 and $50 per case. So every case that can be resolved through self-service, that adds up. If Andrew can't find a resolution to his problem in the knowledge base, then he can open up a new case. So we give him the ability with Serve to open up a new case and then to track that new case to closure. So after he's opened up cases, he can add additional notes and attachment to cases that he owns. It also allows him to track and update cases that he or his company have created in the past. So he can see updates. He can track the progression to resolution. And finally, let's look at Adam Donald, our CRM administrator here. So he's the person who's going to be setting up support centers for the organization. He's going to be adding business hours and holidays, and he's going to be setting up the rules to comply with our service level agreements. And you'll see how all that works as I run through the slides. So the first thing Adam does with respect to Serve is he's going to set up what we call business centers, and they are key to SLA management. So you can imagine that companies, they might have customers who are all around the world, but they might service those customers through a single service center located in one region. Or another scenario is they might have customers all in one locality, but they service those customers through one or more offshore service centers. Or a third would be companies that have global customers, and they have a number of different service centers spread throughout the globe as well. In order, if you are going to calculate SLA's follow-up times correctly, Serve needs to understand all of the different business centers where we're servicing customers from. We need to understand where they're located and what their business hours are, and we need to understand the customer's SLA terms. So that's why Andrew needs to set this up. But once he does, we can do some really great magical things with that information. When he sets up the SLA configuration, he's got a lot of options here. It's a very flexible system. It can be based on any configurable criteria in the system, really, and he can set up conditional SLAs. So a conditional SLA, for example, can use a customer's account tier, like tier 1, tier 2, to set up different SLAs depending on the level of service we've agreed to with a customer. So in this example, we're accelerating the handling of new cases for tier 1 customers versus tier 2, 3, and 4 customers. Serve also incorporates business holidays into the calculation of SLA follow-up times. So, for example, if it's a Friday and I've got a new case, but Monday is a holiday, then that's going to affect when I have to have responded in terms of my SLA for first response on a new case. The beauty of this is that Serve does all this automatically, and it just presents the service agent with a nicely prioritized list, and they don't have to take this into account and do the math. Serve also provides a number of out-of-the-box service workflow templates that basically define how to handle cases, how to route them, and how to deal with like missed SLAs, how to escalate cases, and things like that. Now, all of this is using the power of Sugar BPM. So that gives us the ability to prioritize best practice workflows, as we've done here, but it also gives customers the ability to use these as a starting template or to start from scratch and build a completely custom business process for handling cases. So here's an example of one of the defined workflows. It uses our standard builders for specifying workflows, and as I said, these can be used as a starting point for making customizations. Serve also provides over 60 out-of-the-box reports, and basically what we've done here is we've tried to provide good coverage over the typical customer service metrics and operational reports that most customer support organizations need to operate their business effectively. And of course, like all reports, these can be customized, or you can completely design new reports as well. And so that's kind of an overview of the entire product. I've led you through the new messaging. I've led you through the portfolio and what that means to existing customers. And I've given you a high-level overview and a deep dive on Sugar Serve. So what I want to do now is kind of turn it over to questions and answers.
All right, we've got several questions here. I'll bring them over to you. All right, so first question, can we stay on our current product and for how long?
Yep, so current product you are absolutely can stay on. If you don't want or need to migrate, there's no reason for you to. We have no current plans to migrate anybody off of any products.
And will you eventually discontinue Enterprise and Pro?
We have no intention of doing that. For new products, what we want to do is make Pro and Enterprise kind of the center point for on-premise customers. So as you'll see in our as we release new features, we're going to focus those on improving the ability to customize the product and improving the ability to absorb product updates on our side, so that's not so painful. So we're going to make this the customization and tailoring platform for on-prem customers.
And can we migrate from Pro to Sell or Serve on-site?
Sell and Serve are cloud-only products. So if you want to go to Sell and Serve, that if you're on-prem now, that would involve a migration to the cloud, which we can do. We've done that in the past, but Sell and Serve will not be on-prem products.
Is there a timeline for introducing support for federated authentication for Sugar Market?
I'm going to have to get back to you on that. I'm not sure what the timeline is. I can tell you that directionally, Sugar Market is part of the Sugar portfolio now. That's something that we support, and so that is a roadmap item. But for a specific timeline, I'll have to get back to you on that.
If case management is now part of Serve, will the case module be removed from Enterprise?
No, it won't be. Case management will remain a part of Enterprise. We're not taking any functionality out of Enterprise or Pro.
Will the Serve module components be available to Enterprise users when 9.1 goes live, or do we need to choose to go to Sell and then buy Serve as Sell is our primary need?
Okay, so the serve components will be, those are part of the serve offering. Serve is a on-cloud only product, so those won't be going into enterprise. If you would like the serve capabilities, then you would need to buy serve, essentially. Now, serve will integrate with the cloud version of enterprise, so you don't necessarily need to go to sell. You could simply add on serve and just have it as an additional license capability.
Are there any plans for a mobile app that the customer could use on the service side?
If I'm wrong on this, I'm going to get back to you, but I believe our mobile app already works with Serve.
Does SugarServe take into account user holidays as well as for the assignment of cases?
I don't know. I'm gonna need to get back to you. I know it does in the case of calculating SLA follow-up times, but I don't know if it does it in terms of routing.
So if we stayed on Enterprise, can we still buy the add-ons?
Yes, as long as the add-ons are compatible, and we have not changed the compatibility of those add-ons for the existing product line at all.
How will managers be able to view both products to manage all teammates?
How will managers be able to view both products to manage? Okay, I think I understand. So I believe what the question is if you're a manager and you need access to both sell and serve, how's that going to work? In that case, that manager would require a license to both sell and serve.
Will Pro and Enterprise continue to exist in the cloud?
For existing customers, yes. We won't be putting any new customers on the cloud version of Pro and Enterprise, just existing customers.
Is Service Console available on Enterprise?
No, that is a SugarServe feature, and so you would need to get SugarServe to get that capability.
Can Serve be integrated with an on-site enterprise account?
No, this is one wrinkle in this. Serve is a cloud-only product, and for integration with Cell or Enterprise, those products need to be on the cloud as well.
Is the customer portal the same as the current portal that comes with Enterprise?
Yes, it is today. Right now, we are working on improvements to the customer portal that are going to be out in the next release. So, yes, today, but expect updates on that in the near term.
Is the Kanban system for opportunity management available, and in what variants?
Yeah. So, yes, it's available. It's available on the, I believe, the 9.0 or higher release of Enterprise, Cell, and now Serve.
Okay. Here's a good. How can I get a deep dive into Sugar Market?
Talk to your sales rep, either your partner sales rep or your Sugar sales rep, and I'm positive they can set that up for you. What they'll do is they'll engage one of our product specialists on the market side, and we can get in there and give you a demo and everything you need.
And they were specifically interested in around marketing automation and lead scoring. So
yes, absolutely.
For a current Enterprise user, what are the differences between Enterprise and SugarCell?
Great question. So Enterprise SugarCell is basically Enterprise with without case management and without projects. There's a couple of other legacy features. We also removed the old workflow capability, but Cell includes Sugar BPM, which is far more powerful than the old workflow capability. So yeah, the big difference is going to be around case management.
What would be the APIs available for third parties to read or write data for the purpose of external AI and ML?
That one, we're going to have to get back to you on that. I don't have the technical expertise to answer that one online. Yeah, I don't know.
Totally understand. I'm currently on-demand enterprise. Can I add Sugar Market?
Yes, you absolutely can, and you don't have to change your on-demand enterprise at all. It will integrate with that product.
What happens to Pro and Enterprise Cloud, and will there still be upgrades?
For existing customers, Pro and Enterprise on the cloud will continue to exist. We have no plans to end that. You will continue to get product upgrades and updates on the schedule that you had before. Since you're on the cloud, that's the quarterly schedule. Those will continue. We'll do bug fixes as well as enhancements.
Okay. Seeing some that repeats here, so trying to make sure that we're getting some new questions in. Can you start as a direct sugar sell, serve, or market customer? So if a person is looking for one of these, can they start off with that? So that's the question.
I'm not quite sure I understand what the meaning of direct is. Fortunately, they tell us on this interface who the asker of the question is. So I'll follow up with you and try to get a little more detail on that question through email.
Is there any plans to update the activity stream to include notifications?
I don't know the answer to that. I'll have to get together with product management. So what we'll do, just to make sure, so if we don't get to your questions in this session, we're going to go through all these, answer them in a big spreadsheet, and send them out. So.
Yeah, we are running out of time, so I want to wrap these up with a few more questions, and then, as David said, we'll send them out we'll find out the answers and send them out for you. Okay. Is the knowledge base publicly available, or is it accessible by login?
The knowledge base, I believe that can be set up to be publicly available. Yeah. Now, the ability to open cases, that requires a login.
And is Enterprise Cloud a separate product from Sell and Serve?
Yes, it is. Right today, there's a lot of feature overlap. But as I indicated before, with Sell and Serve, where we're going from a roadmap perspective is, since we've designated them cloud-only products, we can take advantage of a lot of cloud technology. So we'll probably be doing that. And some of those features won't make their way into Enterprise. On the other hand, Enterprise and Pro are going to be our on-premise products. And that allows us to focus a lot more energies on improving the ability to customize and have control over the technology stack as you do those customization platforms. So think of Pro and Enterprise in the future as moving towards being more the platform for customization, and Sugar Sell and Serve as being sort of the out-of-the-box products with functionality and cutting-edge technology.
Okay. I'm going to throw one more question at you and see what we've got as far as the answers. So, can I still customize the cloud offering as much as on-premise?
Well, there will be some. We're not going to take away any capabilities on that. But what we're going to do is as we move those products forward on the roadmap, we might introduce capabilities to do customizations for the on-premise products that we won't introduce into the cloud products. But in terms of your capabilities now and the customizations you can do now, those will remain available. And we'll probably also create some sort of what I'll call some cloud compatible ways to do customizations as well, that probably won't make it onto the on-premise version. So I don't want to give the impression that we're going to take all customizability away from the cloud products. We're not. That's a key part of our product line. But for the people who, we have some customers who are creating applications that don't even look much like sales automation or customer support built on our platform today, and those customers need to do it on premise. And so we're going to provide them more capabilities to do that today. But if you need out of the box capabilities and a good working best practice, then sell and serve are the good bets. Okay, so that's all the time for questions. As I said, we'll run through the questions offline, and get those answered and back out to you, redistributed. I hope this was really, really useful for you. If it wasn't, or if you have ideas about how we can improve things in the future, please send them our way. We're very, very interested in the feedback, and we're trying to improve this so that you get the maximum value out of it. And so with that, I want to thank you for attending and wish you a very, very pleasant day.